Hello everyone. Happy New Year 2023. Hope you all are doing well. UCS is back with its first podcast for this year, and today we have with us Miss Anupama V, our chief trainer, who is an expert on POSH and is a successful corporate lawyer as well. Hi Anupama, how are you?
Hello, Kaveri. I'm fine, thank you.
Anupama, today's podcast topic is a question which is debatable, but I am sure that being a posh expert, you will give us clarity. We all know that an incident of sexual harassment must be kept confidential within an organization. However, what if a person who has been punished for an act of sexual harassment joins another company and that company comes back doing a background verification to the older company? In such a case, must the HR disclose to the company that this person was punished for an act of sexual harassment?
A very interesting question, Kaveri. So, what is the sole purpose of conducting a background verification for a candidate?
Well, Anupama, to put it in simple words, the objective of a background check is to check the credentials of the candidate. It is also to ensure the safety and security of the employees in the organization. Well, these checks are often used by employers as means of judging a job candidate's past mistakes, character, fitness, and also to identify potential hiring risks for safety and security reasons.
Dot on the point, Kaveri. When you are very clear about the reasons for why a background verification is carried out, then why do you think that the HR should not mention to the firm conducting the background verification that this employee had committed an act of sexual harassment for which he was punished?
But would this not be going against the POSH Act, the purpose of maintaining confidentiality?
Absolutely not. Now, let me explain. As you rightly said, a background verification is a document basis which a new organization decides whether it wants to employ a candidate or not. Now, while it is important to keep matters of sexual harassment confidential, the background verification itself is a confidential report which the consulting firm or the company, the new company itself, will be collecting from the earlier employers to understand about the prospective employee. Normally, these contents of this report is not made public, nor is it shared amongst all employees, but is shared only with the concerned officials of the hiring company. Also, Section 16 of the POSH Act, though it mentions that identity of the aggrieved woman respondent and witnesses needs to be kept confidential along with the proceedings and the outcome, it only talks about it being kept confidential when being communicated or disclosed to public, press, or media. It is silent about background verification. As I said, background verification as such is itself private document, is not publicized, and is something that exchanged between two organizations. Accordingly, I do not see any prohibition which stops the existing organization from mentioning the fact that the respondent has been punished under the POSH Act. Remember, it's important, and as you rightly mentioned, the word punished. If the matter has been settled, it has been conciliated, then such a mention should not be made during the background verification. However, if the person has been punished, and the punishment could just be even the respondent having just lost an increment during his term of employment, has to be or can be brought into the background verification. Most importantly, it would be very good if the organization which is disclosing this information in the background verification clearly writes to that company that this information is confidential, is being disclosed to them on a need to know basis, and this should not be publicized. And Kaveri, it's high time that organizations start seeing POSH as any other misconduct. I'm sure most of them in their policies as well as in the standing orders or service rules have made sexual harassment also a misconduct. So if an employee has been, say, has committed a theft in the company for which a domestic inquiry has been carried out, and they've given him a punishment also in accordance with their standing orders or their service rules or their company policy, and it's treated as a misconduct, and I'm sure that is a part of the background verification. Similarly, even in case of sexual harassment, which is a case of misconduct, if such a person has been punished under the POSH Act, then a mention of it in the background verification is very important for the other organization to decide whether they want to employ such an employee or not. And in doing so, we are ensuring that workplaces become more respectable. We are ensuring that there's transparency, and we're ensuring that a person who conveniently does an act of sexual harassment doesn't get away by joining another organization and the organization having no idea about such a person's character. Hope that helps and answers your question.
Anupama, I completely agree with you. After listening to what you just said, I also feel that for the benefit of an organization and the safety of its employees, without disclosing any names as required under Section 16 of the POSH Act, the fact that such an act had been committed by an employee is something which must be mentioned in the BGV report. However, I also agree that the report must specifically mention that the contents mentioned is confidential and is meant only for the employer or the concerned HOD of the recruiting organization and must not be disseminated in public, failing which the concerned person shall be held liable for the breach of the same. Thank you so much, Anupama, for sharing your knowledge on POSH with me and our listeners. A safe workplace is what everyone looks forward to working in. Hence, the mention of misconduct under POSH of a prospective candidate is essential. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you found this episode very informative and interesting. Do get in touch with us with your queries, suggestions, and feedback by emailing us at admin@upseedconsulting.com or writing to us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. We will be back soon with another interesting topic. Wishing you all a great day ahead.